Welcome to this meeting for all. You know me, it's been a while. Don't go alone just to get along. I'm here with my good Rafiki Yangu from Tanzania. He and I have been working on basically getting a strong connection. Hopefully, we won't have any interruptions. We've also wanted to do this meeting for some time now so we can just talk about things that are important to him. He's looking to start his own channel in the very near future, and he wanted to have a conversation about things around the world and obviously things as they pertain to Africa. So, one thing that I wanted to bring to our attention is there's some information in the news that's really been trending about why are 49 African leaders currently meeting with Biden. A lot of people may be aware with the young lady that used to be the former African Union, I guess you would say council. I can't remember her name specifically, or excuse me, her title specifically, but her name is Doctor Africana, Arikana, excuse me, Doctor Arikana, not Africana, Arikana, and obviously she's well known. Again, she was she was her title again, she was over the African Union in terms of collaborating with America, the West, and Africa. Some things went down about 2 years ago, if that long, that she's been removed from her position. She seemed to have been speaking out a lot more due to, the West essentially ostracizing her. So without further ado, we're gonna get into some of these topics because I think they all relate seamlessly in terms of how Africa is, or not Africa, but rather America and Europe and the West as a whole, they're putting their dirty paws into the things that of Africa's business as usual, and how they're playing as a friend, but on the back end, they do what only the West do, and that's to come, and interrupt the flow of the natural flow and the natural order of life. And you're gonna see exactly what I'm speaking of as I show you the video. So now let's just actually do a little screen sharing here. I add my friend again. Hopefully he can stay connected. We're gonna do a quick little screen sharing, and I'm going to share this video. So let's listen to this, and then we're gonna give you a take. committee that addresses the issues that needed to be addressed between not only African countries individually with China, but also Africans collectively with China. There is no published agenda. There are no issues that have been presented to the African heads of states. Africans have not been asked to engage in terms of creating the agenda and making sure that when the African heads of states come to Washington, the outcomes, the issues to be discussed are going to be meaningful outcomes with follow-up and deliverables that are going to be beneficial to both. Okay, so that's that. We're gonna exit out of that. I'm gonna remove that from the screen sharing and just remove the screen sharing momentarily as a whole for right now. So let me stop screen sharing. My friend Albert, do you have a response to what you just heard the former African Union represented as it relates to America? What's your response to what she just said?
But what she said is actually what's going on right now. The summit was called by the Americans. They are the ones chose the topic to what was to be discussed on that summit. Called up the African leaders, but now the agendas the agendas which were picked were not actually open to them, open to the Africans. You understand, like what she was trying to differentiate between the Chinese and the Americans, what the Americans did. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I've seen her do a few interviews now since she's been pretty much ostracized. I mean, it's good that she's speaking out, but she kind of rubbed me the wrong way, to be transparent, when I initially was introduced to her, because she was still a part of the African Union and its relationships with merging the West and America. And she was really pushing for the census to be not only partake in the census in Africa, but hell, partake in the census in America. Now, I do have a good idea because I was still over in Tanzania when the census was being performed, and
Yeah, exactly.
I know that unfortunately there are penalties for you all if you don't comply in terms of taking the census. In America, we could be like, get off our porch. Don't even come back anymore. And it's just that. But over there, they are so eager to fulfill the West agendas that they will lock up their own citizens if you don't do a census. You know, it's crazy that the same things that are implemented and duplicated in the East in terms of Africa, or just Africa as a whole, that originated in the West in terms of Europe and America, are not even heavily penalized to the same degree over back in the West as they are in Africa. And it's sad. Africa will come down on their own people that hard just to comply with, again, the West, so they won't be a rest his soul Macafuli, or fill in the blank. So it's real sad that they do that, and that's one of the sickening things that I can't stand about the African presidents. The title of that video was actually why are 49 African leaders currently meeting with Biden? She didn't give a lot of context to that topic or subject matter in and of itself, but I'm gonna tell you why. Anytime they are collectively sitting down with these wicked powers of the West, it's not good. Now, point in case, I'm going to screen share another documentation I've just received, because I have people such as Albert and a lot of people, Kenya, Tanzania, a few other countries, Congo, that actually send me information of things that are being implemented there in Africa. Well, sad but true, here's another scenario in terms of what's currently being implemented there in Africa. And what I'm showing you now is This is actually, believe it or not, a child's book. But what I
Mm.
want you to do, and I'm going to read it just for, video purposes. It isn't unusual to fancy someone the same sex as you when you're growing up. Fancy is a term of like flirting. That's what they're saying. It isn't unusual to fancy someone. This is a book that's highlighted and sent to me, and that are in the hands of the children in Tanzania as we speak. No lies detected. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you
Mm.
what's being provided to me. I don't even have this book. I'm telling you,
Mm.
this book was provided to me as documentation to say, Aaron, this is what they are presenting in our schools. Let's read the rest of it. Usually people go on to have stronger feelings for the opposite sex, but this doesn't always happen. And it's possible to fancy both boys and girls. Women who date other women are known as lesbians. The word gay is more often used to describe men who date men, but can be used to describe lesbians too. As you can see by the colors, this is for children. You can almost see by the writing in terms of the title that this is for children. Albert, how do you feel about the West infringing on the moral fabric of your great country, Tanzania?
Now, I remember there's some words which Mwalimu Nyerere said before he passed, just when he used to rule. When they got independence, he told his fellow Africans that the West will live on the front door, but they will still come back through the backyard door.
Yeah.
He had a very strong meaning. He had a very strong meaning that they will leave you. Since they colonized Africa. They came and they knew what they wanted in Africa. So even if they leave you thinking that you're independent, then when they go back to their countries, they still control whatever thing you do. Take an example, like like some few weeks or months past, there was some gay marriage which was conducted in just near this Zanzibar. They caught those people that, hey, this is not our culture. You came out from America or whatever country they came up from. Then you come and you get married in Zanzibar. What are you trying to teach? We are not. Those are not our beliefs. For us, we know we're all straight. We know about getting married to a woman, having kids. You know, such things that single sex marriage. Take an example, the Obama regime. Obama came to Uganda with that. Uganda went to, I think, those how they borrow money, that he went there to ask for help, and they told him in one condition: you have to allow gay marriage in your laws, your country laws. You understand?
I
You have
understand.
to
I hope all them Obama supporters understand it too. Go ahead.
Biden and Obama, they are very close. Those are the same people from the same from the same political party. They all support and do whatever. They all support their beliefs,
Facts.
whatever. Yeah, they all support the same beliefs. So what he told the president Yoweri Museveni told Obama that I don't allow gay marriages in my country. You can do it in your country, but not in our country. We also have our cultures, which we are brought up to. You understand?
I understand.
Some some people come up saying that I was born different. No one was born different. No man, there's no man in his own mind who was born gay. No. Eh? And there's just imagine that these things they're introducing, no one is benefiting from that except for those people introducing to you. Hmm? So I don't think I had that. So the thing of the school. It happened that there was a school in, I don't even remember the district or whatever. It was closed because of the school allowed gay people to practice their whatever they're doing. So they had to close the school and put it under investigation. You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
So these things, they are introduced by the West. These are all Western cultures. In history, this we never used to know. For us, we believed in getting married, having a lot of kids. Those people back in the days, you see someone having 10 kids, one woman having 10 kids. That's our African culture. But these days, someone having only one or two kids. That's all being gay. You understand? Eh?
Right.
Because you are copying the Western standards of living. You understand? You're copying their cultures. You're copying their cultures that you're having this. You have everything they're doing. You also have to do. That's not
That's
the way we
fact.
live. Mm.
That's
You
true.
see? Yeah. But in historically, these things are all introduced by the Western, Western people who came to colonize here in Africa. Take an example. I think it was the British who went to South Africa. Huh? So what they said that they had to practice that homosexual because they had no women. They were very far from their women. But that's not true. They're doing it openly because that's what they came to introduce to us. You understand? That's what they came in mind bring to us people. You understand? Yeah. So that's it. So that yeah, that's all.
Okay. Real quick, have you seen any how can I say this? Have you seen any correlation? Una Jumana, y'all correlation? Let
Correlation.
me say it like this. Have you seen any countries profit from basically accepting the West cultures? Can you name countries that may be flourishing, may be doing better economically in Africa that you've seen in recent years because they have accepted the way that the West do things?
But when you say successful countries in Africa, we only have few.
True.
When you talk about South
South
Africa,
Africa, yeah.
you
Would you
talk
say
about
Kenya is a successful? Nairobi is very, very, thriving, but a lot of parts of Kenya, I mean, it's harder than even in Tanzania. But I don't have to tell you that.
yeah, I know I understand you well because Kenya, the economic is stable. You understand? Even their currency, they have a stable currency. You understand? It's not like when you talk about East Africa, Kenya is the one with a stable currency. I don't see it successful because, okay, people they exploit other country, other neighboring countries to put their gains on
Rwanda,
top.
Rwanda. What you think about? So Rwanda and South Africa, what's your thoughts on them and how did they become the man? That's a whole nother history lesson. I need to talk about that one. No, I know who I can talk to about with that. I'm shaking my desk, but I have a phenomenal sister in the Congo that she's great on history, and a lot of people don't know about the history of how Rwanda have played an intricate part with the help and the aid of the West, the European nations, of
Mm,
attacking Congo, you know.
mm,
And so that's a whole nother conversation. So let me sit back and let you answer the questions. I don't want to interrupt you no more. Do you
okay.
see any type of relationship between countries that seem to do better economically in Africa and they have embraced, meaning they have accepted some of the Western ways that other countries in Africa has said no to?
Yes, they have. Because now let me give you an example. Let us talk about South Africa.
Okay.
South Africa gained its independence in its early 90s, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So South Africa has been colonized with has been colonized by whites. You
Correct.
understand? And
Sure.
in South Africa, there are some places where blacks can't even go, but it's their own country. You know that? Yeah?
Sad.
It's
Tanzania is
their.
like that, but go ahead.
It's also Tanzania is like that. There's
I
some, but
know.
for
Go
me,
ahead, though. I apologize.
yeah. So you can't,
That
you
shit made me
you,
mad as
you
fuck.
see. The thing is, when you see those countries, they have a lot of debts to the West. They take a lot of money. They get that aid. You're owed, meaning that you're owed in life. Your grandkids, your grandkids are going to be owed by the Western country because they have accepted their cultures. You understand? They have accepted, and they are okay with it. You understand?
Yes,
They are
I
okay
do.
with they are okay with that Western culture. They're okay with the exploitation which they're imposed by the Western countries. You understand? In return, you see them, we see their economic doing well. The economically they're doing well, but when you look at the gap of the rich and the poor, it's very big. You understand? If you are rich, you are very rich, and if you're poor, you are very very poor. You can't own anything. You see where they live in slums. You know the slums in South Africa. There are very many slums because people there there are a lot of educated people with no jobs. You understand? There are a
Yeah.
lot of educated people because jobs are given to those people who are known by someone. In order to get a job here in Africa this time, where there's a lot of Western influence, in order for you to get a job, in order for you to get a job, you must be known by someone at the job,
Yeah.
not by your skills. You are not. People are not employed by their skills. They're employed by who do they know at a certain department or at a certain company. It's when you get a job. You understand?
True.
Bec- You'll find that there are a lot of people at school graduating, but you're not getting any job. And that's the thing is, they're teaching us at school. We're carrying a lot of books, but those are the syllabus the Westerners brought here. You're carrying a lot of books, but you're only going to do one thing in your life. That's we're wasting time when Africans we're wasting time since we are born going to school. You understand? Until you
Tuka
graduate,
Pamoja.
until you graduate. That's all. They are twisting the brain. You go and study biology, chemistry. Name one white who can take all that all those do all those things at once. History, biology, mathematics, everything filling in one head. Hmm? Until you get you are graduated. After graduating, you go back at home with nothing. Yeah? But someone, you see, because he's in the system, that's what they say this side. Because if you are in the system, meaning that you and you are you can get any connection, whatever thing. Okay, there's some funds they are introducing. Is it UNHDP or somewhat? People are getting those things very very quickly. You understand?
Yes.
But they have to imply by their Western culture rules. You understand? Like someone is telling you that they should allow gay marriages in a certain place, such and such country, but they have failed to impose that the same thing to the Black Americans. I don't think most Black Americans or most Black people from UK are gay. No, it's very few who tend to do that. Yeah?
Well, unfortunately, because we have been bottom line, because we have become a melting pot with their culture, and we haven't
Mm.
been separated enough and basically
And
left alone to continue to teach our own and and really make it a focal point in regards to right from wrong, etc. by our own merit.
mm,
Man, Atlanta is a very thriving popular city. But and I can get to Atlanta in basically about 3.5 hours, sometimes. But man, I can't stand Atlanta from the home city I grew up in. I can get to Atlanta for about 3.5 hours, but I can't stand Atlanta. I would never raise any children in Atlanta. I would never, ever raise any children in Atlanta.
Why
Raising
so?
children in Atlanta is probably the same as if just think about you probably would never raise children in Zanzibar because we know what Zanzibar has become. So
Exactly. Yeah.
but Atlanta is 100 times worse than that. I mean, and you got all these famous actors. Most of all of the famous actors that you will see, which they don't even show y'all a lot of us over there. That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that at another time.
Okay.
But they are right there in the heart of Atlanta. Tyler Perry being one of them, and he gay. He finally came out and said he was gay.
Seriously, Tyler Perry.
Yes, man, he's gay, bro. Like any man that can dress up and act better than a man, better as a woman than
The
a man,
woman.
you should already kind of have an ideal about it. I knew it. I knew it many years ago. Some people will hold on because they like his product, which I think is a great detriment to the community anyway. So I only support his work. But the only reason why I named him because he's a billionaire. This guy is rich,
Yeah, he's very
rich.
rich.
And the propaganda that he promote is unhealthy for our community. But so
But
goes most of the entertainment world here in the quote unquote black culture. Therefore, that's why you have so many blacks that leave the West, specifically America, and they go there for that type of peace of mind, for that type of purity. But again, I'm glad that we're talking along these lines because this is why it's so important. You can only run and hide for so long. And that's one thing that I do my best to let people know. You can only, that's why I talk and I address stuff. I'm not going to be one of those, I call them self-preservationists. That just simply means that a person that only looks out for how they can continue their way of life and they're not interested in changing everything. I'm a guy that ain't none of us free until all of us free. That's how I
exactly.
feel. Ain't none
So
of us free until all of us free. But you can't run and hide because now those people who ran to Africa, I remember me and a sister, she and I just was recently talking. And I remember one time we turned to each other while we was right there on the beach in Dart. And it was right there by Serene, and I can't think of the name, in Bezzy Beach.
best
And
bitch.
I remember we was, staying in the Airbnb and we looked at each other one day and we was looking at something on Netflix or YouTube. And we actually was like, damn, that fast, we forgot gay was a thing because in Africa, you don't see it like that in Tanzania. Well, guess what? Not so fast, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to show you one more thing that I'm looking up right now that I'm a screen share. And it's
Okay.
actually called, they've titled it, and it's not just clickbait, Ghana goes gay. And what are they talking about? It's exactly what you were talking about before. Well, it's actually what you was just talking about. And the thing that I like about this is that you and I haven't even had the opportunity to look at this together. But here it is. So, as you can see, Ghana goes gay.
Okay.
Akufo-Addo accepts homosexuality in exchange for debt cancellation. You just said that. You
Exactly.
just said that. Look at him. Look at him. Let, let me show you something else. So basically, this is what they're claiming. Dear all, our holy Ghana has partially accepted homosexuality slash same sex and ready to protect LB. The alphabet people, man. All these damn letters just
Yeah,
make
alphabet.
yeah. L G B T Q Z Y F A C D M L M N O P. Damn it.
Yeah.
By examining some statements published by known sources, which you are going to read yourself beneath this article. So basically, in a nutshell, here's a link via Telegram. That's like a WhatsApp, but you can go and search this out yourself. There are many articles about this. It's just a thumb click away. I'm gonna give somebody a little game, man, for whoever's listening, really paying attention. This is one reason why I never wanted to go to Ghana. I never wanted to go to Ghana. Once when that year of return in 2019, and even before then, when everybody was talking about, oh, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to Africa, and they act like goddamn the only country in Africa was Ghana, I was like, oh, I know where not to go. Because I'm gonna tell you, anytime the media starts highlighting and they start giving the attention to a certain region or a certain person or a certain situation, I always tell people when they're looking for on their path to truth, the quickest way to get the truth is to go in the opposite direction of everything that they're telling you.
Exactly.
Be inclined to look this way if they're telling you to go
You
that
go
way.
that way.
I didn't want to go to Ghana because I already knew Ghana was gonna be a trap. I knew it. Now, again, I'm sharing you information that they share is also in Tanzania, but we know what was happening in Tanzania too.
Yeah.
Magufuli is no longer the president, and
Yeah.
you got a woman named Samir who is totally doing just injustices and ain't doing right by the people. You know, we know what those conversations are, whether it's getting them with the jab, whether it's letting these people come in and be over the Ministry of Health, cough, Tony Blair, you know, or whether it's just all these other people who don't have Africa's interest in at their, you know, their best interest in mind. You have just so many other situations. I've done other videos in terms of how Bill Gates have come in there and how he's still coming in there and doing different things. I've done videos where I've shown how historically what they've done in Africa as a whole. But again, the floodgates have been open back open because you got Samir, who is a self-preservationist, and hey, they're doing everything that they can do to basically follow suit with Ghana. But guess what's coming down the pipeline too? You've seen a lot of things that are saying, oh, Tanzania is the new wave for this. They're getting funded for this. Magufuli had cut a lot of debt and there was little debt. This woman went out and created debt because debt is the noose around the neck of the country. I'm going to say it one more time. Debt is the noose around the neck of the country, of the people, and she's
No,
hanging
the neck
everybody
of
out
the
to dry.
country.
And y'all
With
know how I feel about it, so I ain't got to keep going in. But go ahead, Albert. You
okay. So Aaron,
Yes, I'm here. I think, man, we was doing good. You froze up. Go ahead, talk.
Aaron. I'm just plugging. I'm just removing this earpiece and I'm switching on my beats so I can charge the phone.
But yeah, I can hear you. But we've had a good video so far. You're starting to freeze up. I think when you were staying still, man, it was doing wonders. Uh, Put that phone
But now,
down somewhere and just let the feed come in because we know how sensitive the Wi-Fi can be at times. But do you have any comments about what I just said, or any other things that you want to touch on?
yeah, what you said is really true. But what I wanted to first ask you I want to ask you one question. Why do you think is that when gay people are introduced here, when they introduced gay people, this gay whatever homosexuality here in Africa, why is it that no one is benefiting from that individually? Some individuals don't benefit from it, but trust me, People they're just more poor when they get more poor before even they went on being gay.
Yeah.
I don't, you see, like
Well,
you give an example like Tyler Perry. If I take you some places, it's just that you didn't just move quite well. There are a lot of gay people right now in Tanzania,
yeah,
and right now it's not like it has been a hidden thing. People are now practicing it fully, openly. Right
correct.
now,
Correct.
you can find gay. I was once in some. There's a time when I told you I went to Arusha. I went there for work, but there's a club I entered. It was all full of gay people. Yes, you understand, and they're all fighting with women for the same man. I don't know what's happening with these fellow Africans these days. Eh? You understand? They all
Yeah,
stink.
well,
They all stink up when you are close to a gay person. They always stink. You understand? You know that, eh?
mhm.
You understand? So I don't. It just this thing. Like now, the debts. These debts they have accumulated. Debts are accumulating in the country. Like what they said when the former may God rest his soul, when he passed away he left a lot of debts, you understand. But now what Magufuli did, he used to share whatever he used to collect within the country, you understand. So there's fraud going on. People are back into their old ways. That's what is happening right now. I think no one is. This is not a secret. Everyone, whatever African you are, whatever African, even if in East African, whatever when you come across someone and you ask him, what do you think will the Tanzanian miss? Yeah? When the former president passed, they will tell you. Even if he's not a Tanzanian, he will tell you for sure that they will miss him because he brought development to the country, which we can see. Okay, you tell me that bring. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, when you tell me that when foreigners come in the country, it has an increase in revenue to the government. It's okay. You can take them to for tourism. We have a lot of game reserves. You understand? People come to enjoy when it's winter there. You come here. It's always sunny. Yeah, people enjoy. There's a lot of places to go, but now you come and go. Don't bring anything here. Just come as you are and go as you are. Just come. It's a place where you come and enjoy and live, not a place where you come and exploit people. That's not good. You understand?
Right. So let me jump in there. So I
Mm,
agree with you. In terms of everything you said, I'm gonna have to start wrapping it up. For another purpose in a moment, but we have more than enough time to address what we need to address.
mm,
They're not concerned about the way people are currently living.
mm,
What they're focused on is the children,
mm.
and it's their hearts. I hate to even say their hearts because it's almost like they don't have a heart, but what their desire is to get to the children. That's why you
Exactly.
have books like this
Mm,
next book. Not only the book that I showed you, but also this book here. Again, this is a heterosexual uh, picture and situation, but this is not age appropriate. And what do I mean about age appropriate? Come on, man. Like,
it-
this is at the bottom. It says 4 to 8 years.
it-
4 to 8 years old. Like, no children should be in kindergarten to third grade and they're looking at an image like this. Like, I don't send my children to school to talk about sex. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Children don't even need to be concerned about sex technically until they're at the very least 16 or basically about to graduate. But they want to get to these children, and that's why they're doing this because, hey, the children, as we all have heard, they are the future. So they're
Let,
more concerned about
let,
changing and distorting these children minds. Over here in America, it's already done ill. These children don't know what they are anymore.
mm,
It's pathetic. They got they got all the parts that they supposed to have, but they don't know what the hell they are. They don't know
eh,
what they want to be. They don't know who they want to be with, and it's because they started in on them at such a young age that they
mm,
started thinking for them because their parents are not standing up, addressing this, calling it for what it is, and saying you're not going to give this to our children. So, that's just
mm.
like a response to why they do that because you're exactly right. It's behind closed doors. It's a big problem in Zanzibar, but you still don't see it openly. But it's a big problem in Zanzibar, and like you say, Arusha. And what do Arusha and Zanzibar have in common?
It's
Both
a
of
topic.
them
Yes.
have the foreigners that come there, being more specific, the
Mm,
Western Europeans, Caucasians, just calling it what it is, that come there and they have really tainted it because they go to Arusha for the safaris. Everybody go to Arusha for the safaris,
exactly.
and then they go to Zanzibar because it's one of the most beautiful islands right there on the east coast of Africa. And you have obviously their playground. Bill Gates Island is right there in Zanzibar, which the locals can't even set foot on it without getting a $500 fine. And you and I both know $500 in US.
Wait,
Yeah, that's over a million shillings. That's over a
but
million shillings.
do you listen to
So
me? Do you know why these people are doing this? Now, these are the things they're teaching our kids right now. They see the kinds of books they're providing to the kids. It's because you know they have to they are brainwashing them because we old people we already know what's wrong and what's right.
absolutely.
You understand? But for the kids, they are brainwashing the kids right now, giving them. It's like the way they brainwashing the Bibles. There's an Old Testament, then there's a New Testament. They all wrote those books. eh? What was in the Old Testament is not in the New Testament. You understand? So
Understand.
so right now they know fully they can't go they can't brainwash someone who is older, who went to school in the early 90s. You understand? Early 90s, early 80s. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because they know what the culture which were being taught by the country. They know they know they are disciplined. The discipline they have is way much bigger than the kids we are giving birth to this day. You understand? So you are taking your school, maybe like for me, I can be working. I take my school to a very nice school, an English medium school, because here in Tanzania, you just quite know well that people, in order for you to speak English, you must be in a very nice school. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
So
You got to
when
pay for it too.
you take your kid to school, and what they go and find there, they are all brainwashed, giving them some funny syllabus.
I lost him just now. I may, I'll probably, I'll let him come back if he jump right back on and finish his point. Um, I mean, he was pretty much reiterating what I was saying, and I mean, we took a promotion. We together, we agree on that. Um, it's just, my thing is we can't be silent. Everybody want to be comfortable, but are we really comfortable? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we really comfortable? especially when this goes against the fabric of nature. Are you really comfortable? Because chances are you're not really comfortable. What you're doing is you're searching for comfort in an uncomfortable situation. You're searching for comfort in an uncomfortable situation. So I'm gonna give Albert a few more moments, if you will. I'm thankful he's been getting at me. He's really been wanting to do these videos. I've been running. I mean, you all see I hadn't posted nothing in 3 months. I've just been running. It's just been what it is. I'm back over here and I'm in the matrix, as they say. But I'll be coming to a city near you pretty soon. Um, but my heart is for all mankind to be liberated, and I have a special place in my heart for those that look like me. And that's just what it is. And then a special place for obviously those who think like me, etc., etc. So yeah, I just want to give you some more time to get back on, Albert. I knew you probably lost connection.
Aaron,
Finish your point, and then we'll kind
actually,
of.
that's what I was telling you, that these days the kids, what they're teaching them at schools. Just imagine like the school which was closed for investigation. You see, you, you can't imagine the pain the parents have been facing. You understand? Because of just some individuals, maybe they have been promised money or what, just introduce this whatever in your school. You understand?
For some reason, Albert, we are having a little trouble again. Um, we're gonna try one more time. If you can jump back on, I might not lose them all the way. We'll just see, because I don't have much more to say. I don't have anything else to say. I said what I had to say. Um, it's the same story, unfortunately. I'm not a person to just continue to gripe and complain. I wanted some things to be very well known and not hidden. That's why I made several videos back a few months ago to put some information put information out there, even as it applied to my um, basically situation with immigration, even as I was leaving Tanzania the last time I left. Go ahead, Albert. Are you good, or do you want to finish?
Yeah, actually, the problem I'm facing right now is that the it has the temperature of my device was overheating. That's why it goes off itself. You understand?
Wow. Okay,
It,
got you.
yeah. So the thing is, so when you wake up early in the morning, sending your kid to school, thinking that she's going to learn something. When you ask when you ask your child, what do you want to become? When you ask your child, what does she what he or she wants, huh? You understand? Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
the person tells you, I want to become a pilot or a doctor. But then when you take them to school, you now brainwash them. There's something called homosexual, huh? You understand?
Uh huh.
So that's painful. Actually, that's it's really paining. Yeah? You understand?
Yeah.
And, and what these people are doing right now, like, actually, to be honest, there's no any African leader who's going to become like Magufuli or Nyerere or some other people who are already dead right now. Yeah. We can't. It's our grandkids who maybe they'll one day have another person like that. But where we are heading, there's nothing. It's just that you find a meal for your kids and you move on. You see how we find that you see the countries going down while you're just looking at it with no, you can't do anything about it.
And I'd like to say something real quick as we wrap up. But one thing I want everyone to know is we can do something about it. A lot of times, people think that the problem is too great or too large for the people. Remember, as one of my favorite orators, actually my second favorite orator, only second to Malcolm X, and he actually studied Malcolm X, and that's little young Freddie Hampton. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
As he used to say, power to the people because the people are the power. Power to the people because the people are the power. And so just always remember that it's more of us than it is of them. We just have to communicate, not be scared, not be timid. And I know everyone has their strengths. I'm not asking everyone to be a frontline type of person. But what I am asking is everyone do their part in some shape, form, or fashion. And we're going to talk about more of those things. Albert, what I would love to do personally, I know some other people that would like to talk. I always commend you on your boldness. I know you have certain, affiliations and ties, but you don't let that keep you from entertaining certain conversations. And you are very well set apart from your kakas and dadas and babus and babas
That-
and mamas, because Kwasa Babu, Wayo Ngopa Sana. And that's just, that's just the truth, man. And what I just said is because a lot of them are very scared. But
it's because a lot of people are intimidated with someone's wealth and power, but
mhm,
some you don't care, you know.
yeah,
Some of us, I don't care if someone's money or power or whatever. I just have to say whatever I have to say, you know. You know what
yeah,
I mean? If
definitely,
I see
definitely, definitely.
a problem, I have to face the problem, not run away from it.
Facts, facts. So with that being said, man, we're gonna put a bow on it. I hope that's I'm gonna point something. I'm gonna message you, and I want you to uh check out behind you. I don't want anything to sneak up on you. Hold on. Check your WhatsApp.
Okay, the other old WhatsApp.
Yeah, I don't know, but when you check your WhatsApp, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So yeah, man. Hey, we'll do this more often. There are a lot of things to talk about. But brother, again,
Mm.
Asante Sana.
No problem, sir. So next time, I think what I wanted to ask you about, huh? Like I applied for a study visa.
Okay,
It was a study which the intake is going to take like next year.
okay,
Early next, I'll be traveling to your ends. Now,
okay.
whatever thing I wanted to, you see, there's a time when there's some things I asked you about, like these things are escalating a lot right now. These things of black people killing themselves or black people being killed by the police. There's some advice I wanted from you.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. And what I was talking about, I hope that's not a spider behind you. I didn't want to kind of like
Yeah,
be.
no.
I didn't think it was, but I just wanted to make sure. You know what I'm saying? But
Okay. I have an East Express, so it's okay.
oh yeah, that's the hit, boy. You gotta spray the hit and you gotta get out the room, boy. That hit ain't no joke. Boy, that hit ain't no joke. That hit
Yeah,
spray ain't no joke. But
yeah,
we'll talk about that. It's not that I shy away from that, Albert, but a lot of things that go on in the media, and I think I told you about gematria before. Um,
exactly.
yeah, but a lot of things are not what they appear to be. A lot of things are what they call rituals. A lot of things are what they call psyops. It's a way that they provide a distraction
Mm,
so they can have everybody energy and attention on a situational subject while they behind closed doors, basically
Yeah.
doing other things to basically deter or get their attention away from what's really important. So some of these things really do happen. A lot of these things don't happen the way they say it happened. I'm all about talking about it, but I guess it's kind of like maybe the same that you may feel to a degree. I guess because it's like international news for you,
Yeah. Essentially,
it's something that you want to know more and talk about. So we'll talk about it in all fairness. Just like I want to talk about certain things about Africa because I want to see Africa free. I want to see the neighboring countries, Uganda, Kenya, Malawi, you name it. I want to see those countries, liberated. And I want to address things that this stuff is a new venture for me. But I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. No problem. I got
like
to get my mind together for that because a lot of people are not going to see it the way I see it. They're only going to see it the way the media is presenting it. And that's why I don't start on the conversation, basically the same way that a lot of people are getting the news
mm,
locally and internationally. But yeah, we'll talk about that at some time whenever you want to talk about it because, I always ask you what you want to talk about. And, I know you kind of put that ball back in my court. Maybe next time you can interview me. But again, this is Albert. You know who I am. Aaron, don't go along just to get along. And peace. Talk to
peace.
you next time.
Okay, peace.